just give her a few different experiences. I'm going to start with a feather, which you might think would be something that wouldn't be so good to use on a cat. But the texture of it, cats are so textural that I just want to give her kind of the sense that she could be touched in a way that's not necessarily touching with my hands. So I can use the feather to either use a stroke. I can do circular touches. That's a good kitty. All right. Yes, I know. That's a good girl. So I want to give her a different texture, so I'm going to just use this paintbrush. Just going to kind of see, let her check out some different things. She's looking at herself on the screen. That's a good kitty. So I use paintbrushes with cats. I use them with all kinds of reptiles, found them really helpful. With dogs, we were talking yesterday about having dogs that are difficult to work inside their mouth. Sometimes using a paintbrush, especially a rounded one that's wet, you can start on the outside and then you can roll it in underneath their lips and their gums. Okay. That's a good girl.
And Robin asked me to point out a few things as she's working, because you can't always talk and work, as you all know. And I'd just like you to watch the roundness of her circles and the tempo of her circles as she was making those movements. It's very rhythmical, isn't it?
So I'm just doing, and these are really light touches that I'm doing with her, and then a slide on her hair. Maybe a 1/2, more like a half, because it's not. And actually, I oftentimes will do, Linda's talked a little bit about the troika. Well, I do kind of my interpretation of it in the hair sometimes, where I'm actually not.
Well, that's it. Just what you're doing.
Yeah, but I'm actually not moving the skin. It's actually just in hair. Yes. And I think that with cats, it's especially important to change what you're doing, or you really do overstimulate them. And if any of you had, we all know the cats that you stroke and stroke and stroke them, and they're really happy and they're purring, and then they bite you and jump down. And there is it's like an overstimulation that they get. That's a good girl. I'm just going to see if I can go back to her ears. She was a little sensitive at first. And just like with the dogs and horses and all the animals, the ears are so important. And I had a kitty, one of my kitties was, when he was 13, we found out that he was born with only one functioning kidney. And the one he had that was functioning was only functioning at 30%. And they told me that he had 6 months to a year of quality life. And so I was, thought that's fine. And I went home and I started to really focus on doing the ear slides and touches all around the base of the ear, and actually all over his just back and loin area, because I'd find that when he was in need of having his dialysis, as it were, that he would get yowly, he couldn't jump up, he wasn't interested in eating, he was a little oversensitive to his ears, and those were actually the times I needed to work his ears the most, because every time afterwards he would be able to go and eat, and he would be able to then jump up on a chair, and he lived for another 5 years. So I didn't have that expectation when I started it, but it gave me something to do, which was really helpful and made me feel so much better. Very good. Now, if she wasn't as accepting of my hand, then I could use the sheepskin net, the buff. She says, I think I'll just take this moment to leave. That's good, kitty. Again, to give her different textures, and if she is kind of skin sensitive or she giving me a look.
No, I'm just looking at it.
All right, it's a good kitty. It gives a way of diffusing the contact. That's a good girl. I should have a look around. That's all right. Oh, I'd rather you didn't get down. It's all right. Good kitty. So I'm actually going to go up and see if I can work a little bit around the outside of her mouth. And I'm really careful that I'm not like strangling her or making her feel like she's being held with my hand. So my thumbs are just around a little bit. Oh, I know that's very strange, isn't it? Yes. All right. So I did just do it for a moment. I'm going to give her a break because I want her to realize that I'm listening to her. It's not all about me doing to her. We want to do this together. And I want to allow her to have feedback. So I'm just doing my way best to feel my way in here. If I was doing this on a ferret or a bunny, I would use a Q-tip or something that I would wet. That would protect my fingers. That's a good girl. A good kitty. Yes. I could also use a paintbrush. What? Oh, some bit of fluff from the tablecloth. There we go. We'll take that off. That doesn't taste so good, does it? And of course, if their mouth is dry, wet your fingers. So this is actually can be helpful with cats that are kind of a little bit over the top, or just if you want to brush your cat's teeth, you need to have them, just to take care of dental examinations. Good girl. Being able to work their mouth, other than the times that you need to work them for medical reasons, makes a lot of sense. Did you release Kitty? Yes.